think I've ever had an Essence collection in my hands so quickly after first talking about it in my new makeup releases video. I bought most of the things from this collection. I didn't buy the nail stickers, but I feel like I have all the other things. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this product. I'm gonna do a look. I'm gonna do some swatches. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is this So Cherry Happy Body Mist. I bought this body mist thinking I could be about a cherry scented body mist. This one is very sweet, but there's also something still quite soft about it. Like we have some other scented products in this collection, and I definitely don't feel like this is the most potent perfume in this collection. It is soft, it is sweet. It is a little bit like cherry bubblegum-esque, but there's something very just soft about it. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not an in-your-face perfume. I just sprayed on a little bit and it doesn't really have a crazy ton of projection. It is nothing that people are gonna be smelling from meters away from you, from the other side of the room, walking past you on the street. It's not gonna be something that takes up that much attention. It's a little fruity, it's a little sweet. It doesn't feel very different from other very young, girly, sweet, fruity perfumes that I've smelled. I feel like for me, it's a little bit too young, but now it did a really like big spritz, and I'm gonna smell it again like at the end of the video with you. Alright, next up in this line we have the So Cherry Happy Face Primer, and this is a face primer that has kind of like these pink bubbles. I'm guessing that those kind of like break apart as you use the product up. And this one has glycerin, it has niacinamide, it has aloe vera, and it has panthenol. So there are some very hydrating ingredients in this one. It does have cocoa glycerides, which I'm a little scared of because I do know that coconut oil breaks me out, but I don't know if glycerides derived from coconut would break me out. And this one does also have perfume in it, which means that I could maybe use this once a week. I have to be a little bit careful with it because I am allergic to perfume, and it's in so many products. I forgot to check it when I bought it because I was at the office, quickly throw this in my cart. Don't tell my boss that I shop for makeup in the office. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes things just launch while I'm in the office. So this one is very watery. I'm thinking it's gonna be hydrating, but more kind of like serum-like. It's not gonna be thick. I don't think it's gonna be sticky, but I'm gonna put it on my face and I hope it's not gonna irritate my face, and I hope it's not gonna break me out. I feel like my skin is looking pretty good right now. I don't really want to mess with it too much, but we're gonna try that. I'm gonna test it for you. Alright, welcome to my face. So yeah, I think this one looks really cute. The only thing that I would say, I wish that I could just put it down like this, because now if I take a few pumps, I kind of just want to like put it down, but I have to lay it down. I'm kind of like breaking up the bubbles. Like I can see them on my hand. Like the bubbles, they are there. I see those little like pinky spots. It's like the broken apart bubbles. I don't really know what that does. I'm guessing it's more of a like gimmick. Okay, let's apply. Yeah, it's feeling really watery, like you're applying a serum to your face. It is lightly scented. I do have to say the scent, like the perfume, is really far down the list. I think it might be the last ingredient. Let me check. It's sinking in pretty quickly. I'm just gonna put the cap on. I'm not gonna put on like a crazy amount of that. Alright, the very last ingredient is fragrance. So I guess it's not gonna be too bad. I'm not expecting like a huge amount of irritation from using this once, but it could be that the coconut breaks me out. But that is the serum. It's sinking in really quickly. It has a slight bit of tackiness to it. Nothing too crazy, but a slight bit of tackiness. I think makeup will probably go on pretty well. I think this is gonna work for a lot of different skin types because it's not too heavy, doesn't feel oily. It's really just a light layer of a slightly tacky, somewhat hydrating serum. I think there's some potential to this one. It actually feels quite nice. So I put on a little bit of a skin tint. I put on a little bit of bronzer, and I feel like the skin tint went on really easily, very smoothly. No issues with that application whatsoever. So now we are moving on to, I think the first lip product is what we're gonna do. This is the So Cherry Happy Lip Balm, and this lip balm is called Cheeky Cherry, and it is kind of like in this raised packaging because the cherry part is actually 3D, and I think this is a pretty interesting product because we have the 3D cherries, which are actually like a red color, and then we have kind of like a shimmery pink part around it, and that is clear. So I'm guessing you have to put the red on first and then you top it over with the pink. I do have to say, you really have to go in, really take some time to warm up the red because that is really like hard. Like those cherries are rock solid. You kind of have to melt them and they really give a little bit of a tint. I do like the tint that they give. Like this is cute. Something soft and subtle. And it's really thin. Like you can notice that it's not an emollient product that you're putting on your lips. So now I'm gonna go into the kind of like shimmery pink part with my finger. It's a little bit hard to reach. Like I can't get this on my finger, but it's hard to grab. And then I'm gonna put that on top. Like this is way more emollient. So I definitely think you should layer these. I do feel like it looks super cute, but it's not super practical. It does feel quite nice on the lips with a bit of the pink topper. This one does smell sweet. I don't feel like it's super like artificial, but it's a little bit on the sweet side. This is just like a very cute balm. A little basic in the formula area, but it looks super cute in the packaging, so I totally get that. This one is more for like fun, I feel. And then the thing that I'm super excited about, this is the So Cherry Happy blush lighter. Essence does a lot of blush lighters in their collections and I usually really love them, and once again we have one. Once again it's a pink one. They do love their pink blushes. This is the one in 01 Love You Cherry Much. It's a blush lighter for pink cheeks with rose golden shimmer. And this one does have an overspray. In the swatch, it looks quite red, but I don't think that is what you're gonna get as you like keep using it and the red wears off. And that red, kind of like shimmery red of the cherries, it wears off basically after swiping through it once. Like this is what mine looks like now after doing one swatch. So the more pinkish tone underneath, that's what you're gonna get. It's not really gonna mix in after like 2 uses. I do really see kind of like a golden shimmer throughout it now and a reddish shimmer throughout it now because of those sparkles of the overspray. I do want to swatch it again to see like how it's looking now. Now it seems more kind of like a strawberry pink than the kind of like more reddish pink that we had in a swatch that I just showed you. So this is what it looks like now. It's definitely not a super cool toned white based pink. It definitely has something a little almost corally in the undertone to it. It's quite a neutral bright pink. I'm just gonna grab this slanted brush by Made by Mitchell. This seems like a pretty pigmented product. Like it's very powdery, so I don't know, I kind of feel like I have to work this in a little bit. Okay, but also I still feel like this might not give me like the full idea of the product because there's still a little bit of that red and golden shimmer in the product now from the overspray. So that is what it's looking like. And it's so powdery that I can just literally take a little bit off my hand, take it up from my hand and then apply it. It's looking really nice. It's not super glowy. I wouldn't really call this a blush lighter. I think it's more of a like satin sheen. To me, this is just a blush. It's not really a blush lighter. So like so much is getting on this brush. You can really see it well with this one. And this brush was clean. Gonna dab off a little bit on my hand, try to work it in. It's just a little awkward with those cherries, like the cherry red. It is kind of like concentrated in the pan. You can definitely see there's a little bit more color now on my cheeks. And yeah, I do see sort of a glow, but it's definitely not the same as the In the Bloom Light blush lighter and as the Hello Kitty blush lighter. I feel like In the Bloom Light, that one is the most glowy and the Hello Kitty is kind of like in between, and then this one is a bit more of a satiny sheen. Like it's definitely there, But it's not like, oh, is it a highlighter or is it a blush? It's definitely a blush. There's no mistaking that. Okay, I'm liking that. I need something with blendy edges. It's just with that red mixed in, it's kind of like getting away from me. It's a little difficult to navigate. But of course that red is not going to be around for much longer. So I think it's actually going to be easier to use. And now I see a little bit of sparkle here and there. That's also not going to be the case after a little bit. Alright, I think this is a pretty cute blush. Am I head over heels? I'm not sure. I definitely have to use it again. I do see a really nice setting glow. And I feel like it will apply quite easily after all of the red and the glitter is out of the pan from that overspray. Like I do see that glow as I turn my head. It does look very healthy. I do think it's such type of blush color that I would really enjoy. I think there's definitely a lot of potential to this blush. I do think it's cute, but I do feel like the Blushlighter from the In the Bloom Light collection, that one really blew me away right away. But also that one didn't have an overspray. That just makes it a little bit hard to review. Not that this is really a review, it's a first impression, but it makes it hard to tell you what is up. Alright, I think it's time for the next lip product. I have here the two Peptide lip glosses that they came out with in this collection. The Peptide lip glosses, are they called that? The lip treatments, squeezy tube lip balms that they have in their regular line are some of my favorite lip products in my collection. I really love how hydrating those are. And now we have these Peptide lip glosses. I'm very excited about them. We have two shades. We have the shade Cherry on top, which is a cherry red. It seems quite pigmented, so I'm excited to try that out on my lips and see how I really feel about that. And then we also have the shade Cherry Cherry Baby, which is a kind of like milky baby pink, which I also really love. So I'm just gonna take up this lip balm. It honestly feels quite nice. It looks quite cute. It's a like subtle product in a cute packaging. And by the way, the perfume, it's just, you don't really smell it a lot. It's very subtle. It's just a hint of sweetness. It's not too heavy. I think it's really great for like teenagers. And I think you can definitely spray a lot of it and it not being too much. For me, it's very, very subtle. And I don't think that the scent itself is complex enough for me to choose this over other perfumes that I have. But we'll see if I'll grab for it. I will definitely use it more to give you my final review. Okay, let's start out with the one in 01. Cherry on top, the Peptide lip gloss. And I'm really excited to see... Oh, that's very pigmented. I'm really excited to see if these are similar to my favorite lip formula. Definitely have a sweet cherry scent, very potent this scent. More potent than the body mist. Also seems a bit like cherry bubblegum. This is very glossy. I think that's looking pretty cute. It's quite pigmented. It's very, very glossy. As I said, it doesn't look as perfectly smooth as I would want. I do feel like it gathers a little bit in my lip lines, but it's like only slightly. I don't feel like it's really bothering me. It's a thin feel, but still it feels quite substantial on the lips. I don't feel like it feels as like balmy as the ones from the regular line. I don't feel like it's the same formula, just with a different name and a different packaging. This is definitely also more glossy than that. This is definitely closer to the Peptide lip glosses from the Kiss and Glow collection by Catrice. You see it's just gathering a little bit in my lip lines. It's nothing too crazy, but it's definitely there. It happens a lot for me with a little bit more pigmented glosses. And it's kind of like the gloss stays on top and then the pigment gathers in the lip lines. But I think overall this is a pretty cute product. I don't think this is gonna be the most hydrating product probably in this style. I don't know, I quite enjoy it. This one is not perfect, but I think maybe the pinky one, the lighter pink, is gonna be my favorite. Okay, this is very milky, very pinky. Ooh, but I do love it. Very strong scent once again. Hopefully this is not gonna gather weirdly. Something about the scent makes me think of my youth. I don't know what it is. Okay, this one I think I love. This I think is my thing. The scent is pretty strong. I don't know if it's gonna like disappear, but I don't think this gathers weirdly. It just adds a really nice glow, a little bit of that pinky milkiness. This is nice. This one I like. This I think is really beautiful because it's so glossy. I love this glass-like finish. This is really my thing. Really. So this was the one in 02 Cherry Baby. Like, this is gonna be my favorite. This is so cute. I do like the feel of them on the lips. Like, there's a lot of potential to this product. The longer I have on this blush, the more I'm liking it. There's just something very natural about the sheen that it has. But I just think it would look even better the next time I apply it, because then there wouldn't be any of the like shimmers and weirdness mixed in. Okay, I think this is gonna be the last product for this collection. This is the Essence Cherry on Top Matte Liquid Lipstick. And this is kind of like a cherry red, a little bit of a pinky red liquid lipstick. And it's in the shade 01 Cherry Kisses. I actually feel like this color is gonna be so nice. Has a very strong scent to it. Once again, really like a fruity bubblegum cherry. Like, they all smell a little bit different. Like, there's a difference in the cherry scents, but everything does smell a little bit like cherry. So it's up to you if you think you can handle it. I don't mind any of the scents. I don't feel like any of these scents are very like chemical, which Essence sometimes does. But this time around, I don't really mind it. So I'm just gonna try this liquid lipstick, and it actually looks very good. I hope it's gonna be a good formula. Oh, I love that color. I was a little bit scared that this was gonna be too bright of a red, but this color I like. This is the type of red I would wear. Ooh, that is so nice. That is so nice. Okay, this was not too difficult to apply without a lip liner. I think it's looking pretty good for applying it without a lip liner. It's drying down. I'm feeling a slight stickiness, but nothing too overly sticky. It's looking really smooth and matte. This is really nice. I love the color of this so much. I kind of feel like I have to fix my blush. It's just looking a little uneven. But I keep going into the red spots and I don't want them. I don't want the red glitter. I just want the pink. Just give me the pink, okay? Wait, I'm just gonna take off the red. I'm gonna try and do that, but it's very powdery. Like, this is all of the red that is on top. Okay, now it's just all up in the brush. Like, this is what we're working with right now. That is just so much better when you don't have different splotches of color on different parts of your brush. Now it's looking really crazy. I'm gonna blend it out, but it's looking more smooth. That is the look I was going for. Okay, what brush did I use? I don't feel like the stick of the lipstick is too bad. Okay, let's blend this. And we're going for it. We're going for the blush blindness look. Okay, so this is the more reddish version of the blush. And this brush was clean when I started using it for blending at the start. So yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of an eye look. I'm gonna finish the look. And then I'll be right back with my thoughts, which are mostly positive. I like that. Okay, and this is gonna be the finished look. I did apply a little bit of highlighter on top of the blush because it was looking a little crazy. Still feel like it's looking a little bit crazy, but it was really hard to get like a handle on that blush because of the very pigmented red overspray. So I did my best. I do feel like I have to try that blush again and again and again to really see how I feel about the actual formula of that blush. I mean, it's hard to tell with an overspray, and this is also why I'm not a fan of overspray. It just makes the product into something else for a short amount of time. And I get that it looks really cute in a store, but I'd rather just have really cute packaging and not that glittery weird overspray, which caused this blush to look a little like weird right now, and which causes me to not be able to fully review it. Then the rest of the products, I feel like the body mist is a pretty standard sweet cherry scent. It doesn't last a very long time. I feel like you can just douse yourself in this and it would be fine. It's a cute product, but I don't feel like it's a must-have from this collection. Then the cherry lip balm, I feel like it's a pretty cute product. I did feel like the layering worked pretty well. It felt somewhat hydrating. It's mostly about just the way this looks in the pan. But I do feel like for a slightly gimmicky product, it still worked quite well. And it also has that sweet scent. The primer I quite enjoy. I'm not going to be using this a whole bunch. I'm going to see if this breaks me out. I'm a little scared. But I quite like the feel of this on the skin. And the skin tint went over it pretty easily. Then we have the Peptide lip gloss. I think these are pretty cute. The berry is not my favorite because I just have some ridges in my lips. I have dry lips and it just kind of sits in that. It's not a terrible product. I've had worse, way worse instances of that, but I think the light pink one is gonna be my favorite. I feel like this is really nice and glossy and has that kind of like milky finish and look, which I really enjoy. And then of course the liquid lipstick that I'm currently wearing. I feel like this is a really nice formula. It's slightly sticky, so if you really hate a sticky lip product, this is not for you. But I feel like as I'm talking, as I'm just like doing my thing, I don't really mind it. It doesn't feel like my lips are sticking together. It is a full dry down product. I don't feel like this is going to be very hydrating. It's definitely a more classic liquid lipstick formula, but I really love the shade of this. And I'm actually pretty impressed with this one. I thought that maybe this one wouldn't be my favorite from the line. And then that's going to be everything that I've tried. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to come back to these products in a new makeup update. But I will also put an update in a pinned comment as far as I can say anything about the wear of these products. And that's going to be it. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.